Philip Rivers, the former Charger, has an agreement with the Indianapolis Colts. It's 1 year, it's $25 million. He will presumably replace Jacoby Brissett as the starting quarterback in Indianapolis. And he has quietly put up huge numbers since coming into the league in 2004. I think most people know that, but they don't really. The problem is that, of course, it has not come with the ultimate success. He has the most wins, the most passing touchdowns, and the most yards of any quarterback in history to have never started in a Super Bowl. Only 3 Colts quarterbacks, meanwhile, have taken that franchise to a Super Bowl: Earl Morrall, Johnny Unitas, and Peyton Manning. Will Philip Rivers be the next? Is he even an improvement over what they had? And I want to bring in my guys on that question. And Dan Orlovsky, I'll start with you, because a lot of people have asked me this. Is Philip Rivers an improvement right now over Jacoby Brissett?
Greeny, he's not. More accomplished? Yes. An improvement? No. The reality is this. Jacoby Brissett last year, through the first 8 weeks of the season, was 5-2 for the Colts. He had 14 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, and he had just gone on the road and beaten the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes before that injury derailed his and the Colts season. So yes, I get the fit for Philip Rivers, the fact that they can protect him offensive line-wise. 2018, Andrew Luck was the least sacked quarterback in football, and last year this is top 3 offensive line in Indy. So that is the fit for Philip Rivers, and protecting him is there. But I don't know, for $25 million and to totally pass on Jacoby Brissett after what he had shown you when he was healthy last year, I don't think that this is an upgrade for the Indianapolis Colts at the quarterback position.
What do you think, Swaggo?
Well, when you think about 2 years ago, we're not far removed from Philip Rivers having a really good season in L.A. and the Chargers being a contender. And I remember Rex Ryan believing that the Chargers possibly would have made it to the Super Bowl. So that has to be what Indianapolis was thinking. And to Dan's point, now that you have one of the best offensive lines in the league, Mack in the backfield, they probably feel like around Philip Rivers, they have the ability to do things to keep him in his wheelhouse. That's the only thing I can think of. I'm with Dan. I thought Jacoby Brissett was playing well before that injury. You have a young quarterback that you can continue to mature, but we know in this league it's win now, and I'm sure Frank Wright and obviously that relationship gave them enough courage to bring Philip Rivers on, and hopefully they can manufacture some of those great years that he had, because like I mentioned before, we're only 2 years removed from Philip Rivers having a great year. Now, last year he threw the ball to the other team a lot, as we want to lay on quarterbacks that threw a lot of interceptions. So I'll be interested to see what transpires there. But if Jacoby Brissett was thinking that I'm not their guy, this only solidifies that to him, I think, now.
Hey, Dan, so let me ask you about the landscape of the AFC. We have Kansas City, the defending champ. We have Baltimore, obviously great last year and got better. Where do the Colts then slot in amongst the best teams in the conference?
Yeah, this doesn't put them up there, Greeny. I mean, you mentioned Kansas City and Baltimore. I'm putting the Buffalo Bills up there. The Buffalo Bills are going to be a really good football team. I think the Cleveland Browns are going to be the team that we thought they were last year. Tennessee still in the AFC South. My guess is the AFC South comes down to Tennessee and now Indianapolis, because Indianapolis is a good football team. But I mentioned this early on. There's still some pieces on this team that are needed. It's T.Y. Hilton and then Pascal. They don't have a tight end right now with Eric Ebron out. Jack Doyle is a good player, but not a premier #1 tight end. So this doesn't vault them to the top. They traded away their first-round pick for DeForest Buckner. So there's still at least 4 or 5 teams that I place ahead of Indianapolis sitting here today.
Yeah, to me, this was another one of those moves that, despite the fact everyone said it was coming, I found it a little surprising. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.